Hi there, everybody. My name is David, and I am the proud owner of Denver Web on the internet at denverweb.us. And basically, I wanted to introduce my website, introduce my business, and let the people of Denver, Colorado, know that we're open for business and that we're very unique compared to other local website development agencies and companies in that we are a locally owned, family operated uh, business as opposed to single individuals that are basically developing websites as a hobby that may or may not have experience, that may or may not be able to create custom projects or work with you on SEO or work with you on e-commerce, which is online shopping, or taking payments online, or even integrating a business so that it's fully featured online and can reduce overhead and get you more leads. So we basically provide the services of a small agency, but are family owned, family operated, and want to see every one of our customers succeed and reach their objectives. So we're kind of unique in that way. We're not focused on the fast flip. We're not focused on anything other than watching individual customers succeed and build their business base up and make more revenue. And we do not outsource any work. Everything that we do is done in-house and can therefore be customized. So we're just going to review the website for a minute. Here are some of our recent projects that we created for PMJ Renovations, a local remodeling company, handyman service here, a law firm, Abrams Walker, downtown. And we're just going to click right on here. Now, if you had a smartphone or if you're viewing the website with a smartphone, you just tap on the icon. This is our work. And when you see the website change in dimension like you just saw there, that is how you know that a website is responsive. And responsive basically means that it will adapt its shape and change its design rather to accommodate any screen size resolution. So it's very important that every website designed today in 2015, almost 2016 now, every website needs to work on modern cell phones, whether it's Toshiba or the iPhone or a tablet or what have you. So it's very, very important. A lot of people want websites with animations or get really focused in on design, not really knowing that it has to work on all types of cell phones and all types of devices and really needs to look the same. So if you have one type of website for cell phone users who use this type of cell phone and then another type of website that you redirect them to if they use a tablet, it creates a disjointed experience, and consumers can very easily look at the site and be confused or wonder why you have multiple different types of sites for different types of things when it's just not necessary. Um, and you also run the risk of having disjointed SEO, content that is not the same. So the users have a very different experience, which you don't want. So here's one website that we created for a local auto shop here, an accounting service, an interior design agency, a yoga studio. Um, Here we have a local coffee vendor, a nightclub that we worked for in West Palm Beach, Florida, a restaurant, a client was a private investigator, uh, dating website for chefs, believe it or not, chefdate.info, local tattoo business, Denver Psychiatric Care downtown, Sienna Fine Dining, a dance studio that's kind of geographically on the border between Denver and Lakewood, I believe. Um, Landscaping agency, one of our newest clients here, Heirloom Antique Mall in Aurora, and then a salon here, or spa rather, that we worked with. And we're located right here at 3255 South Parker Road. So we're well able to meet and work with individual clients in the greater Denver area. One thing that is of major concern to a lot of clients, and rightfully so, is pricing. How does that work? And it's a question that we hear quite often. How much is a website? How does somebody budget for website development? They don't know. And basically, the way that it works is you're starting the process of internet marketing. You're beginning to put your business on the internet. You want to make sure that people find you in Google searches, that you have a presence that's always growing and expanding and adapting to changes. A lot of businesses will put their business on Facebook, and they may or may not realize that Facebook changes how it presents its information on a fairly regular basis. They recently introduced a Facebook timeline that changes the whole appearance of the business. And they also own whatever information that you post on Facebook. They immediately own all the printed content, imagery, videos, whatever you put online on Facebook. They own the copyright too, since you're using a free resource and you're posting it on their site. So it's always better to have your own professional online presence that you can control, that you own, and that you can also regulate how it will look, how it will change over time, and adapt with changing technology. So as far as prices, basically, internet marketing is an ongoing process. So if you look at how you would put an ad, let's say that you would put an ad in Denver Westward or in the Denver Post, for example. If you were to call Westward, they would tell you that if you put one ad in the newspaper, you may or may not get some phone calls, but it's more productive for you and you have a greater return on your investment if you were to post an ad over several issues, because sometimes people will see it in one issue, not really notice it, then see it again the next issue. It will pique their curiosity, so they need to see it several times before they can react. The same with radio station advertisements. Many people will hear a commercial on the radio and they're not going to respond immediately. Maybe after the third or fourth time they hear it, they'll say, oh, I remember hearing that, let me give them a call. So it's the same with internet marketing, and the same with Google searches and every other type of advertising. So if you were to call the Denver Post or Denver Westward, they'll advocate that you put an ad for several months. How much does that cost? Well, in print, it would usually cost you $2,000 or $3,000 to put an ad in Westward, I think, or the Denver Post for several months to get the maximum return on your investment, to get the most possibility of phone calls, somewhere in that neighborhood. It may be a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. Radio, of course, is going to be a little bit more than that because you're reaching a wider audience. And then with television is the most because you're reaching even more audience with that method. And removed from that equation is internet marketing. And you really have the greatest opportunity to reach even more people with professional internet marketing. And then if you integrate that with Google AdWords, basically if anybody, whoever gets on the internet and looks up your particular keywords, they're going to be taken to your site or your advertisement. So how much is a professional website? It's going to cost you usually what you would spend putting an advertisement in a local newspaper or a weekly or monthly tabloid for several months. And that's professional level to make sure that your SEO, search engine optimization words, are carefully researched by a professional, integrated and programmed into the website, that there's a lot of care put into it. You work with the developer, in this case would be us. So we would sit down with you and work with you and make sure that everything is spot on, that the design has calls to action, that it has branding integrated with this. What is branding? Branding is where everything has a similar or identical feel and look, so that it gives people the idea that, hey, this is really professional. Their pens look just like the website looks like their flyers, the flyer looks just like the business card, and again, it repeats the message of your brand. or your company or your logo multiple times in a single experience. And that's why you see larger companies that know how to use branding effectively. Uh, you'll see companies such as Red Bull. When they deliver the Red Bull, they drive the Red Bull vehicle. They put the ads in the grocery stores. Same thing with Monster. You see that everywhere. The logo on the different cans and so on. So it's integrating your visual uh, designs and logos so that everything is similar and very smooth, and the customer just sees this as a single whole. So that's what branding is. And it's not always appropriate for small businesses just starting out. They may not be ready for it. They may not know what they want their brand to be. It may be a new concept. So for a professionally developed website, in most cases, to get something professional that's going to last you a long period of time, that's going to give you results and new leads and referrals on a pretty consistent basis, usually you want to budget around $2,000 to $3,000 that you would spend on putting an ad in Westword or a local newspaper for several months so that you get more return. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't get a professionally developed online presence or website for less than that. It just means that it may or may not have as many bells and whistles. It may be scaled back a little bit so it doesn't have as much content or as many pages or as many social media connections. It may not be as integrated into the business. So it varies depending on what you want done, really. But usually that's about where things start. Agencies would typically charge anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000 working with a business simply because they have so much overhead. They have usually very high rent. They have a team of marketing and advertising people. They outsource their work, so they've got much higher overhead. So they need to charge much, much more to make any kind of a profit. And in many cases, the work is done very quickly because they've got very tight deadlines, and it's more of a business that is the fast flip. Uh, how can you tell if a developer is honest or experienced? You want to look for references, credentials. You want to find out, do they have any kind of education that's associated with this? What kind of experience do they have? Who have they worked with in the past? And it's very important to find that out, just as you would with any other service professional. You would never go to a dentist and not look to see, do they have the plaques, do they have a staff, do they have a professional looking office. So it's very important with web developers to make sure that they know what they're talking about. They've got experience, they've got credentials, they've got a portfolio to show you. If they use contracts, ask to read over the contract with them, go over it. And that's one very sure way. So what we offer in prices is we have different options to make things more flexible for the customer. So we can have monthly subscription plans where you pay $250 up front. You can cancel at any time, no contracts, and you can pay according to these monthly plans. Now, why would you pay monthly? The benefit of paying monthly is that you can always be adding more. You also have the benefit of basically having a personal developer, at your disposal. You can call, email me anytime. I'll get back to you usually within 24 hours, if not earlier. Then you also have regular updates. So you could be paying $99 per month, for example, and every 3 months be adding another page, adding another feature, growing and expanding on a gradual basis. So you could be adding new email accounts for employees. Let's say you're doing the $99 a month plan. After 3 months, you can add another page. You can refine the contact form or add another one. If you have employees, you may decide that you'd like to make it so that your employees can clock in and clock out using the company website. We can do that. And we would do that after 90 days. So we also provide daily security checks, weekly backups. So it's basically like an insurance policy on your website. Also, the ability to add more on a consistent basis. And that means the design, font, almost every aspect of the website, how it looks, how it functions, what it does for you. and you can cancel at any time. And if you decide that you wanted to do that, we would just hold the website for you and just basically not do anything to it. We would just leave it there for about anywhere from 60 to 90 days, and just until we find out what's going on from you and where you want to take things. We also provide a flat rate option as well, which many people prefer too, where we simply meet with you and discuss what your project is and what your budget is, what's realistic for you, and how you'd like to scale things, and then we could just work out a flat rate project, flat rate as well. So that gives a lot of flexibility to the customer. And as far as the services we provide, basically every type of internet marketing, custom design for your website, custom SEO, site security, e-commerce, where people can basically pay for services online, purchase physical items from the downloaded item to something that requires shipping and handling fees or even inventory. And we can also help with any number of items. So no matter how large your physical store is, we can set that up as well so that you can have your items put online. So let's say, for example, that you had a pawn shop. Let's say that you had a pawn shop and you wanted to put all of your items online. We could put however many items that are in the store online, as well as adding them to Amazon, eBay, and Google Shopping. So looks like right now my Wi-Fi is a little bit slow due to the fact that I'm also downloading some other programs. So we're going to stop right there and add some more videos